On the air and also off the air, we somehow got into a conversation about Disney World, and Haley said her favorite ride is It's a Small World, which is just a wild thing to say.
That's just a lie, or her favorite ice cream's vanilla.
Yeah,
and
nobody's favorite ride is It's a Small World.
No, that sounds absolutely terrible.
Saying it's terrible is ridiculous.
No, it's an old person ride.
No, it's not. It's like the kids love It's a Small World.
Okay,
little kids
toddlers
love it.
and old
You know what
people.
you love? I'm going to just tell you this. The girls were at Magic Kingdom yesterday. They're going to Epcot today. It was 97 degrees yesterday in Orlando.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 95 or 96 today. Total humidity. They're going to Epcot. They're going rope drop to closing. My worst nightmare.
Yeah, I can't.
This is seriously my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
And It's a Small World, Gunner. Someday you'll be a dad.
Yeah, well, yeah, but he's not talking about that.
But what I'm telling you is, you will learn to love It's a Small World.
But that's not like that. I like AC, is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. It's air conditioning, and I would in my head be saying this. I am getting to sit down. It is fun, and
you know why you can get on there so quickly because
nobody wants to go on
ice.
Yeah, but here's what I don't understand is how the people do they not sell deodorant? I mean, because you get to Disney in the heat.
Oof. They probably sell Mickey deodorant
people
somewhere.
People just stink.
For $16.
Stunk, stunk, as they say.
That's the stench of frickin' It's a Small World.
And if there's a storm during the day, if people get wet, then they got the BO, it smells like wet dog. It's terrible.
All right, here's what we're talking about today. We've had a couple topics on the table, and we're about to open something else up for everybody that everybody can probably relate to that's listening to this show.
All right.
There's just going to be like one maybe demographic that won't relate, and I'll get to it in a second. But why should anyone doubt the Eagles is how we'll start. What?
I'm just nothing. Nothing. Don't worry about it. I was saying something to Gunner.
Why should anyone doubt the Eagles?
I have no idea.
Let's play Bill Colarulo from yesterday again. I saw this tweeted out by the station. It was such an impactful moment of the show on the Mike Missanelli show that our own Dylan McKinnon actually posted it. Take a listen to, what do we call him? Diaper Bill.
You called him Diaper. I called him Binky Bill. Binky Billy.
This was his reaction to the Eagles' schedule.
But the way it sets up, you're right, man. It's not easy. No back-to-back home games first time since 2008. And I just look at some of these matchups in here. You mentioned the week 2 through week 5, 4 straight playoff teams. Not going to be easy. The 5 games to end the season, 4 out of those 5 are against playoff teams. But here's what I really hate. Week 10, you go to Green Bay for a Monday night football game. And then you have a short week coming back to play the Detroit Lions. So even though that game's at home, that is a short week. I hate that you play Detroit on a short week, where if you look at what Detroit has the week before, they're at Washington on a Sunday. So not that big of a deal for them, not a lot of travel for them. So we're going to do the W's and L's, but when I look at this, I think my first blush would say they're not winning what they won last year. To expect them to go 14-3 with this schedule, I think we'd be a little naive.
Wait a minute. So Bill, who pumped up the Washington Commanders yesterday, Bill and Mike, they've pumped up the Washington Commanders to be a legit team. I am here to tell you, and I'll take egg in the face if next December I'm wrong. They have pumped up the Commanders to be legit. They're in there. They're real competition for the Birds. Mike even said could be a wild card. Tiebreaker. Mike said tiebreaker for the division over Washington is the only way the Eagles are winning it.
And Bill said wild card.
Commander. So they both, literally, it's the Commanders pregame show coming up today at 10. I'm here to tell you, the Commanders, it's a freaking joke. They are not. Week 18's not going to matter.
Live from the Hard Rock Cafe, by the way.
I don't know when these two, you know what we got to build? You know what we got to build these two? Seriously, they should do a show from the Hard Rock Cafe with all the Commanders fans. They should do a show from down there. Let's get it set up. Or we build them a little bunker so they can just hide out. Because they have Commander fear. I can't get over it. I can't get over it. And he goes, well, look what Detroit has the week before the Eagles. They're at Washington. They don't have much travel there. They have a road game against the team that you've already said the Eagles are losing the division to. And then they got to come here for another game. I don't understand it. And by the way, again, I will tell you, what did the Eagles' Super Bowl odds do? They went up. They're better. The Eagles' Super Bowl odds improved after the schedule was released. You know what the Lions' Super Bowl odds did? They did not improve. They went down. You know what the Commanders' odds did? They went down significantly once the schedule came out. They went from plus 1,600 to plus 1,800. You know what the Lions did? They went from plus 800 to plus 900. You know what the Eagles did? They went from plus 675 to plus 650. The Eagles actually, they say, oh, wow, the Eagles, they actually have a better chance to win the Super Bowl after they saw the schedule. But not in Chicken Little Town, for God's sakes. Commanders pregame coming up today at 10. I think they're going to have Bram Weinstein is going to join them.
That's our guy.
No, they're getting Bram on today. I'm sure they're going to have him on. John Riggins. Is John Riggins alive? I think he is. I think they're going to have John Riggins join them. They're going to have that thing. Jaden Daniels. They're efforting him for next week on the show.
Mom.
Jaden Daniels' mom joins Mike for a very special one-on-one interview next week. Very hard-hitting.
John Riggins is still with us, by the way.
Where that's very good. God rest his soul alive. And Jaden Daniels' mom next week sits down.
Some of the things that you say just amazes me.
Jaden Daniels' mom sits down with Mike Missanelli next week
alive
for a very, very special one-on-one where Mike says, "Let Jaden get out in the streets, Mom. Let him get out in those streets."
I want this sign off at the end of every show today. And moving forward to be, everybody have a great weekend and God rest your souls alive.
Yeah. God rest those alive souls.
They're probably piping up the Commanders so much. Jane Daniels' mom probably put a restraining order on Bill and Mike saying, stop talking about my son so much, honestly, only in it for the money.
It's like, Mike has them. The Eagles' only chance is to win a tiebreaker against the Commanders for the division. And Bill has them as a wild card team because the Commanders are winning the division.
Winning the Super Bowl, or at least getting to it as a wild card team.
Honestly, I have no idea. I have no idea what's happened to them. But again, I saw Chicken Little. It's a great Disney movie, by the way. Have you watched it yet?
I love the baseball scene, man.
One little slip.
What do we got on the text line about any of our topics? We have more that we'll reset with. But
oh my gosh,
I'm running out of time. I need to talk about. I want to open up this other topic. But what do we got on the text line?
We got Jamal in New Jersey checking in saying, I agree with John about the Commandos. Hopefully not that kind of Commandos. Hopefully you guys got your underwear on out there. He says, I think a star fan base and media is looking for the next best thing. Jaden has been phenomenal, but the rest of the team is not to mention Jaden is only 2 years younger than Jalen, so let's stop acting
even 2 years,
like he's a kindergartner and a fourth grader at the same time. No, they're pretty much the same age.
Yeah, look, leagues always try to promote the next person. Remember all the Zion talk because they thought LeBron was going to retire, right? Like it was, they all leagues do that.
I told people, go back to YouTube. YouTube can be your friend. I'm like a 20-year-old now with YouTube. Go back to YouTube. Last year's schedule release day, they spent endless hours talking about, well, what did the NFL want to do? They wanted to make sure the NFL got a lot of C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love because they're the hottest new guys. Yeah, guess what? Jordan Love didn't beat a team better than them all year.
All right. You have a weekend alone.
I do. I do.
So this conversation works for anybody that's in a relationship and most likely living with. Obviously, you have to be living with this person. But it could be in your mid-20s. Like my wife and I lived with each other before we got married. We lived in sin. And
you did.
And then, of course, when you're 80 years old, you could have a weekend to yourself, right? This works for anybody. Both
God rest her soul.
Both male and female, right? So I want people to tell us what their dream weekend alone would be, but then tell us how it actually goes. Did you ever see the movie Hall Pass?
Yes. God, that's one that I wouldn't request anybody. I don't put that on the list of any movies that people got to see.
Right.
But everybody, it's one of those ones that if you pass by it.
The point I'm going to try to make is because not that you're doing a hall pass weekend, unless maybe you are.
Do you and your wife have a hall pass list?
No, we love each other.
You still can have the list.
So hall pass is Owen Wilson gets a hall pass from his wife to go, sleep with somebody, right? And remember, they had the weekend. They separated for the weekend.
Right, separated for the weekend.
And they made all these plans. Oh, we're going to go to the bars. And they went to a TGI Fridays. They ate too much. and then they all went to bed.
Yes.
The next day, we're going to golf, and then we're going to do this, we're going to do that. They ate pop brownies. They got too high. The rest of the day was ruined, right? I know that's how it actually goes in real life. Like, if my son and my wife went away for a weekend, I'd be like, man, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to get too drunk Friday night and hate my life Saturday, and then they're coming home Sunday. So give us the actual dream scenario.
Okay.
But how it would actually play out. Because I know me and my buddies went to Fogo last year, right? Oh, night out on the town.
That's a great idea, though.
Yeah, but night out on the town. We're going to eat, and then we're going to go to bars. We're going to bar hop. Man, we ate as much as you can, and then we're going,
we're too tired.
So do you guys still want to go to that bar? Or do you just want to go home? Like, that's how it actually ends up playing out.
After Fogo, a lot of times, it's like...
But we all do that. We make these incredible plans. And I had this conversation with my buddy Lenny once. Like, once you have a kid, you feel the need to go all out. Like that night out that you get.
Yes.
Like the grandparents are watching the kid, right? Gunnar, maybe one day you'll understand this,
yes.
Right? And you're like, all right, honey, let's go act like we're in our mid-20s again. And then you realize you haven't had 3 drinks in a row like that in a long time. And then you're like, oh, my God, I feel like crap.
I'm tired. I'm very tired. I got a plan. The first night of it didn't go according to plan.
No, exactly.
So
nothing ever goes according to plan.
We'll see if today goes according to plan.
So give us your dream scenario. If you were to have to, I don't know when I'm ever going to have that again.
Kids, it's good to have dreams. Sometimes they don't come to reality.
But then how does it actually play out? Because all of you that are saying right now in your cars, oh, no, man, I can hang. No, you can't. You're a liar. All right? We all have jobs. We all have lives. We all have responsibilities. We all have other stuff that goes on other than just being a 20-year-old again. So don't lie to yourself and say, I can hang. No, you can't. Liar. Coming up next, today's headlines. Brennan Gunn, Kincade, Salciunas.